Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Dhena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur established this system of becoming certified in studying the Shastra, and Srila Prabhupada carried on the tradition by emphasizing that devotees should have degrees in reading his books. And he made this as a prerequisite for moving ahead in various aspects of one's initiation. For instance, second initiation, he wanted devotees to be very serious about reading and have at least a Bhakti Sastri exam. At one point, he even mentioned those who had completed the Bhakti Sastri exam would be allowed to initiate in ISKCON and so forth. And what demarcates advanced devotees from less advanced devotees is a level of faith. Higher level of faith means more advanced devotees. This is mentioned in various places in the Shastra, but along with that comes a comprehensive knowledge of the scripture and ability to present it to others. For instance, the neophyte devotee, the Kanishta Adhikari, is one who has very weak faith and also does not have complete knowledge of the Shastra or any knowledge. And the Madhyama Adhikari is one who has strong faith, but not sufficient knowledge of Shastra. The Uttama Adhikari is one who is endowed with strong faith and also has a comprehensive knowledge of the Shastra. The Shastra Sunipuna knows how and why the Shastra is presented and is able to present it to other people. So an essential aspect of our movement and what distinguishes it from many other movements is that we have these unusual literatures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so forth, which Srila Prabhupada has so kindly presented to us in English and in other languages so that we can study them fully. And there's an expectation for those who are members of the Krishna consciousness movement to be fully acquainted with all of these books, because this is not a sentimental philosophy. It is, well, of course, that aspect is there as well, but it is based on well-reasoned faith. We understand the science of Krishna consciousness and therefore are able to fully dedicate ourselves to chanting Hare Krishna and hearing about Krishna's pastimes and so forth, understanding the philosophy comprehensively. And also, as Prabhupada mentions in his in the forward matter to the Srimad Bhagavatam, when one studies the Srimad Bhagavatam systematically, he or she will be able to withstand the onslaught of atheists. And he also mentions this presentation of the Bhagavatam is meant for a re-spiritualization of human society. And that begins with the devotees fully understanding and studying it. Srivas Pandit Prabhu has exhibited signs of a very advanced devotee. He is a very advanced devotee. He is extremely absorbed in the Shastra. And not only that, he's steady in his service. These are two signs of a very advanced devotee. So by good fortune, Krishna sent him here many years ago. And there are various things that irk him about the world, not the least of which is the way he has to interact with the material energy in various ways just to maintain himself and his family. But when it comes to Shastra, it's like a hand in a glove. And teaching Shastra, he's a natural Brahmin, natural teacher. So we're all very fortunate to have Srivas and obviously Malini here at ISV. And thank you very much, Srivas Pandit Prabhu, for your years of very steady dedication to this process of teaching Bhakti Sastri and Bhakti Vaibhav, and now starting Bhakti Vedanta studies here at ISV. You've graduated dozens and dozens of students in these various degrees, and we thank you very, very much. On a personal note, I thank you very much for making a customized system for me so I was able to go through and finish my Bhakti Vaibhav. Because of travel and schedule restraints and so forth, Srivas Prabhu and I worked together. We studied together. We took tests together under the careful watch of Nirakula, who made sure there was no talking and no extra materials in the room, and that we handed the test right in and so forth. And I also want to thank His Holiness Hanumat Preshek Swami. What an unusually kind-hearted and just wonderful devotee. I've known him since 1973, and the first time I noticed how unusual he was the treasurer at the Berkeley Temple, and I walked in after Sankirtan to give him my Lakshmi, and he was counting everything, and he had a whole system. He'd go, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I said, how do you keep in track? He said, well, it's easy. That's like, he had a whole way of staying absorbed. And he's been on the forefront of education in ISKCON. If not for his enthusiasm to introduce this systematic training, North America would not be where it is today, and many other places where he goes in South America. And I remember meeting him at San Francisco Rath Yatra maybe 15 years ago, and he was talking about this so enthusiastically that it really caught a fire in my heart also for the importance of this systematic training. So millions of kudos to His Holiness. And also to all the devotees who have cooperated to help with this program. There are many behind the scenes. It takes a lot to organize an educational system. Those of you who have kept records, who have taken care of, I'm sure Srivas Prabhu will mention their names. And finally, before the certificates are awarded, in talking to Hanumat Preshak Swami and Srivas Pandit Prabhu and students and teachers from all over the world in the Bhakti Sastri Bhakti Vaibhav program, I've become aware of an important point which I'd like to bring up now, and which I will bring up. And that is that education is not about information, it's about character. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that there are 20 items that position one to have clear transcendental knowledge. The first two are humility and pridelessness. There's a way in which in various places around the world people have achieved a Bhakti Sastri or Bhakti Vaibhav certificate. And then they suddenly change their personality. And they say, now I'm Bhakti Sastri, I don't need to do any service anymore. Or they become conceited about it and present that I'm Bhakti Sastri, don't talk to me that way. This is the opposite result of what one would hope for in this kind of a training program. Therefore, in long discussions with Srivas Pandit Prabhu and Hanumat Preshak Swami, our feeling is that achieving this certificate, holding the certificate, is conditional on maintaining one's humility. If one receives a Bhakti Sastri, Bhakti Vaibhav certificate, and then makes any claim, publicly or privately, that comes out into the assembly of devotees that they're more privileged than others because they have a Bhakti Sastri or Bhakti Vaibhav certificate, as far as we're concerned, it becomes null and void. It's not worth the paper it's printed on, because it indicates a complete lack of understanding of the knowledge, and that the knowledge is not penetrated at all. So we would like to cultivate a collective understanding here at ISV that the Bhakti Sastri and the award of the Bhakti Sastri or Bhakti Vaibhav means that one's character must be in parallel with the teachings that one has received, and that will be headed by humility and not claiming any kind of special rights because of being Bhakti Sastri. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay, good. Somehow we've empowered Vedant this morning, and I'm happy for that. I think he has definite leadership qualities. Now Srivas Pandit Prabhu will say a few more words and we'll present the certificates. Hare Krishna. Just a final comment, and that is, since you ended with reading Srila Prabhupada's books, the Bhakti Sastri is kind of a warm-up. It's like when your car is stalled and somebody gives you a push and it starts going. Then this is meant to discipline us so that we can continuously read. It's not that we come and we read something and then we're finished and that's it. We have a degree. But it's meant to be a lifelong study of reading all the books. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told his disciples to read the pastime of Prahlad and Dhruva at least 100 times each. And Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that we should read all of the books in whatever has been published, and it means continually, perpetually. This will assure that one stays on track in the process of Krishna consciousness, will be edified by the constant hearing from Srila Prabhupada's books. So congratulations on a good start, and for taking the trouble to build the spiritual muscle to be able to study and read very comprehensively. Continue that and continue to increase it, and you'll be very successful in spiritual life by Srila Prabhupada's grace. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the blessings, Vaisesika Prabhu.
Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, hey, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman.